Hey, what's going on, people? This is TJ with Kuma Style. What we're taking a look at today is Sentinels, Tetsujin 28FX, and 17 Phoenix. So, what comes in the box? Of course, Phoenix, Tetsujin, a variety of hands back here. They're only two different pairs, two sets of two types or whatever. So, straight out palm and kind of open, reaching out, whatever. A stand adapter, of course, the stand itself. No adapters needed for Falcon when it comes to this figure right here, since we have a stand in here, straight on. Let me see if I can get my trusty measure. I almost thought I lost it. Ooh. He is approximately 7¼ inches tall. Okay. And this is a very simple, straightforward figure, which I do like about it. It's just unfortunate because it comes in a year. It's a very good figure, but this has just been a year of absolute bangers when it comes to mecha stuff. So, particularly from Sentinel. Between them and their Flame Toys brand, man, they've been killing it. Rodimus is just out of this world. Line Barrel exceeded all expectations. And yeah, so this figure does have some diecast to it, particularly in the joints. It's not a super weighty figure. Honestly, I can't tell the difference outside of looking at it and seeing that it has diecast throughout the frame, that it is really like a metal figure. So don't expect that like heft to it like a lot of, like, let's say Heat Boys Leonardo. That's one that a lot of people bought, you know. So no, it's going to have much more of a regular plastic toy feel to it, even though it isn't. All right, looking at the articulation here, some rock in the head. This does a ball joint, so you've got the 360, you got the rock, you got some up and down movement. But what I like about this toy, and I wish that this could become a regular thing, is that it has a neck extension. So by default, the head's pretty sunken, right? So yeah, but it has this neck extender here, and then from there, like if you're somebody like me who likes some different angles and whatnot, you can still get that, you know, straight up Jim Lee stuff. And I don't mean that as an insult. I think it's actually genius that artists play with anatomy a little bit, just so all parts of them are visible, because honestly, who wants to take a picture from beneath and have it look like that? That's insane when you can do that. So that's pretty cool. That's the neck. The shoulder pads, all right, that's for its iconic, you see it in the background here, that kind of bicep muscle pose or whatever. But I'm taking a look at the shoulders themselves. They do move. All right, so kind of ignore the fact that it collapses for the moment. We'll get into why it does that in a second. Well, we already talked about it, so it's whatever. Parallel, the rotation, and you are seeing the back bend there too. All right, 360 on the bicep. Okay. There is some rock side to side. That's not normal, but they do it for the sake of that muscular bicep pose, and we'll go over that in a second. All right. Double jointed elbow, okay? And then the wrists do rotate, but it's very hard because you have those forearm guards there. But I'm glad that they do, because by default, it's made for this. It's made with kind of an unnatural palm position there for the sake of the bicep pose, but you can still get it into a natural one. Now, I haven't tried this rotation with the other hands. I don't think it should affect, but we'll see. All right. Now, looking at the waist, it does have some rock there. And, all right, multiple levels to this. So there's this, and then there's like where the chest meets that rib cage area, and then there's this part too. So there are technically 3 levels. All right, looking at the rotation, and just so you know, there's no rotation in the waist, so don't try it, the actual waist itself. But you do still have 360 there, all right? And now in terms of back bend, ab crunch, back, you can see quite a bit. Let me get him so he's more straight up, okay? All right, so there's the back bend, and then the ab crunch. You see you've got it here. You've got some here in the waist itself. Then you got some here, but then you've got more here. So 3 levels, and there is an extension there, so. All right. there's that. Now, in terms of the hips, these two pieces do move out. These front pieces move out. And the skirt, this back, nothing. Now, it's hard to show under here. All right, let me see if I can do it. It's a little bit dark, but this whole, like the whole hip is able to slide through back and forth. And it is individualized too. So each hip has its own separate slider, which gives it more back and front swing. And there is, of course, a swivel that's individual of the whole swing joint. So you don't have to swing it front or back to move the hip itself. So, okay, you've got that. And that just popped out of the ball joint. No worry there. Okay. But that's kind of full potential in case it's not there. And then sideways, ball joint popped out. And I'm actually kind of glad that it did, because you can see it goes all the way back here, that slide joint, okay? Slide joint, boom. All right, 360. And I love that this gives us so many rotations where it doesn't have to. So many figures have stuff that gets in the way, especially when you don't have just like flat thigh joints, flat bicep and stuff. It still swivels full on. It's really cool. All right, so knee, double jointed, but this joint up here doesn't give you a lot. It's just a slight whatever, but you still get more than, well, I would say that's about 90 degrees right there. Okay, taking a look at the ankles. No extension, no drop down or anything like that. All right, front and back, that rock back and forth. There is some movement in the toe, both up and down. And then, boom, boom. Yeah. So overall, a really articulated piece. So it has a lot of articulation points, but because of how the figure's designed, it doesn't do anything like super crazy. I haven't tried like superhero landing pose or anything like that at this point, so I don't know how well it moves around itself. I can't see this figure without popping pieces off and whatnot, really doing a lot of that stuff naturally, but check out the gallery on kumastyle.com and we'll see what it can do in full. Okay. Now let's put that upper body articulation to the test that we were talking about here. All right, we're going to zoom out a little bit. I'm going to collapse these, all right? Collapse these, collapse these. Get these rotated inwards, the palms. Okay. And we're going to rock it to the side so it can still go outside. And the joints are pretty tight. I like it. I just want to make sure its feet are planted, and that's cool. I do like that they made it so that his forearms can go around the shoulder pads. And I'm actually going to drop the camera down a little bit. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. All right, quick look at 17 Falcon. Give you guys a roundabout here. Pretty cool. And looking at his wingspan, because it does become backpack for the figure as well. Wing to wing, I've got about 12¼ inches across full expansion. It's a good look. I really like the red on it and stuff like that. The color separation and whatnot on these figures is incredible. So, it's not a lazy piece. Alright, the head does go up and down. This is on a ball joint. So there's movement there. The wings go up and down. Watch how far down you go. It doesn't go very far past down. It doesn't go very far down past parallel. Alright, and the wings themselves can go in and out. Okay. Tail over here can move in and out too. All right, to make sure that I'm doing this right, I'm going to take this off the stand. And not for nothing, it does have feet. It can go very well on flat surfaces on its own. It was just easier to show it all. Yep. Like so. So, okay. First, we've got to flip these two flaps out. Not a hard procedure at all. Flip the head in. Flip this up. Try to remember. And the legs do extend more out as well. Okay. Alright, so you got that, right? Pretty easy. And then the figure itself has two pieces in the back. Soft clip. Now, back in action with a backpack. And while we're here, I'd like to show one more thing. It does show in the instructions that its eyes, this part of the head, and the chest are supposed to have some light up features where you can activate them via black light. Alright, let's do that. Let's zoom. Okay. Zoom in. And normally, you can see it start to light up there, especially the head. From my experience with Hot Toys, you're supposed to be able to like shine a black light on it for a certain amount of time, normally within like a minute or so. You shouldn't have to do super much. Now you can see the eyes and that crust on top of the head really lighten up, really activating. Let's see, it doesn't do anything when you go away, so maybe it's just a black light thing. And I might not be remembering from the Hot Toys correctly. But the chest, I'm not getting anything at all. That's supposed to light up via the instructions, but I'm not getting any effect on the chest at all. And you can see it blatantly in the eyes as well as the crust there. So that's what we got for that. Get these lights back on. And let's see what we can do with them. Again, this is my first time really playing through the toy. I just knew that it was simple looking at it, and I like simple. Simple is good. This one is the US release. There's D4 Toys exclusive that comes with open hands as well as a cable. I don't know a lot about this version of Tetsujin 28, so I don't know what that cable and the hands mean, so I wasn't too just raring to spend extra money to get those exclusive parts that really didn't do much for me. If they were just cool as fuck, you know, I would have spent the extra money and got it, but I'm good. All right, so there's a stand adapter piece. All right, and it's hard to show on camera, but there are two notches in here, and it clips right into the figure. Boom. And I'm sure you heard that, because it was pretty loud for me too. All right, and what we're doing... Alright, so obviously that's not the pose we're trying to leave them in. Let's see if we can do something better. These hands are on ball joints. Popping them off isn't the easiest. It's just finding the right angle. And then going from there. Yep. There we go. This out of the way. And sound off. If you guys don't like me actually going through the rigmarole of like the posing of the figures and stuff like that, let me know. You know, then I can just make sure to edit out this part and just show you guys the finished poses. But I know some people like to see me go in between and stuff like that and kind of get the mindset behind. Now, with these stands, just so you know, it is kind of weighing down. It still can go up and down, but you can tighten the screws in this and all of the Sentinel stands that come with this. The one thing that I wish about the stands was that they had the ability to angle and do some rotation and whatnot. That would be fun. Alright, let's see what we can do with this. If we can get some camera tilt in there. Because if I'm thinking right, put it underneath. Yeah! Alright, let's make sure. Loosen this up so we can do that. Yeah. Put it to the side. Cool. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This figure is a bit on the smaller side at 7¼ inches tall. I've got some very big figures this year, kind of like 8-inch up, 8 to 10 actually, particularly from like Sentinel itself. But when it comes to flame toys, I guess they're around 7 inches and stuff like that too. This one just had a bigger feel from the images that I saw prior to purchasing it. It's nothing on Sentinel. They list like their heights and stuff like that in centimeters. I could have done the conversion well before buying it, so that's on me. It's not on the company, nothing deceptive or whatever. But it says a lot about this figure because even in hand, it's small, but looking at it through the LCD of the camera right now, it has a very big presence. I'm just pressing on the actual size of it because I know that to be true and I want you to know what you're getting. Because it looks like a 10-inch figure. It's like put together like a 10-inch figure, but no, it's 7 inches tall. But outside of that, it's solid, a little bit light, but I like that because the joints are really strong. So I actually appreciate that trade-off. And honestly, I'm a displayer, not a player. So what a figure weighs in the end, it really does nothing for me besides like bragging rights or a reason to justify having spent hundreds of dollars. Now, I believe the MSRP on this one was around $200. I'm actually gonna look this up on TF Source here while I'm talking to you guys. Alright, sorry for the silence here, but we're getting it done, getting it in. So, yeah, actually $300, $299.99. Do I see this as a $300 figure? Absolutely not. Is it cool as hell? Yes. But here's what it comes down to. I think if you're a Tetsujin 28 fan, you're already buying this, and you just want to know if the quality is good, it's freaking great. If you're somebody who's looking for a cool mecha, I would say kind of look elsewhere for the price point because, like, even from Sentinel themselves, they've done some better things like the Riobot Gurren Lagann, like the Line Barrel, and even like the Flame Toys offerings and stuff like that around this price point. So it's not one that I would choose over, like I said, the sea of awesome releases this year. But if you get it, I think you're going to be more than happy with it. This has been another Kuma review. Like, share, subscribe, and yeah, check out the gallery and outer code, kumasao.com, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.